This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we are the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on social media and with all your friends and neighbors. Martin County Roofing and independent insurance agent Rudy Howard presents the African American Scene, and your host is the one and only Rudy Howard.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am so happy to be back here with you. Your old boy was down. I've been gone for 3 weeks, and I spent a couple of those weeks in the hospital. But I'm up and moving around now. And I have to tell you, it's been heartwarming. Winnie went out of her way to find out what was going on with me by checking with the neighborhood store guy. And I appreciate that. But I had to get some treatment. And like I said, I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, but I'm out now. And I'm ready to entertain you guys. Since I have been gone for 3 weeks, though. Tonight, what I want to do is let you ask me about anything you want. Complete open mic tonight. I'll throw out a couple of things, though, that I think might be of interest. Pew Research poll shows that black people are more conservative than white people think they are. I know there's some people out there going, oh, no. All I did was tell you what I've been telling you all along, which is there are black folks you could win to the Republican Party if you would stop the crazy stuff. The crazy stuff sends the moderate black people that might consider moving in that direction away. You know, believe me, I've told you this and told you this over the years I've been on the radio, and now the Pew Research poll is telling you the same thing, that black people are actually more moderate than they are liberal. But they tend to go with the Democrats versus the Republicans. Let me give you an example. In Florida, conspiracy theory. That just took a whole bunch of black people that might consider being with the Republican Party, straight over to the Democrats. Not going to buy into the conspiracy theory crap. That's an example. The other example is the textbooks. And not teaching African American history. Those things drove black people right into the arms of the Democratic Party. And here's my good friend Winnie, who went out of her way to check on me. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, all right. I'm glad that you got better and getting better and everything. Praise the Lord.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
Thank
you,
dear.
dear.
Back in business.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
What you think about Taylor Bryan, Emmett Till? They said they found a arrest warrant for her, 70 years old. They found an arrest warrant for Taylor Bryan and Emmett Till. What you think about that?
Oh, you talking about the lady that confessed to
Uh-huh.
lying about Emmett Till?
Yeah. It's an arrest warrant. It's 17 years old.
I
It's
think
out there in the basement. It's out there in the basement of the courthouse. His family won't them to arrest her. She 86, 87 years old,
yeah.
and they want her. She's still living. She's still living.
I don't know what that arrest warrant was about though. Do you know what that was about?
No.
I agree though. I did hear that they found an arrest warrant in the basement of her house. And she also admitted that at once she said she lied on Emmett Till, and then she said she didn't lie. And for those of you listeners who are not familiar with the story of Emmett Till, let me educate you. Emmett Till was a young man, 14 or 15 years old, if I recall, from Chicago, visiting in Alabama,
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Visiting in Mississippi, and it was alleged that when he was in town, he made a pass at a white woman. And that 15-year-old lost his life for making a pass at a white woman. And he was from Chicago, so I am sure he had no idea the depths of the problem that he got himself into by making a pass at a white woman, if he did. But later she said he didn't. But that's when we're talking about Emmett Till, just to bring you up to date, that's what we're talking about. And it's typically considered the case, one of the cases that helped launch the civil rights movement, because Mamie Till had an open casket for viewing of her son, and it showed the horrific beating that he had taken and the distortion of his face, and it was the first time that had happened. So I'm not sure, Winnie. I thought when they found out that she had not told the truth under that old civil rights law that they would get her. But she recanted, and they don't seem to have a witness one way or the other. So that's where we are.
His family still want her to be arrested, so they thought that arrest warrant. So we'll see how that go.
Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully. Okay, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bless you too, Winnie.
Right.
Thank you.
And you got a call from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Alex is in New Jersey, and she's calling the African American scene with Rudy Howard. Hello, Alex.
Alex.
Hello. I'm calling to take issue with something that Mr. Howard said about the Electoral College. He is completely wrong. The Electoral College was established to maintain minority rule in this country. There was never a time where the Electoral College worked, Mr. Howard. So I think you said that a few weeks ago, and I was completely shocked because I've known you to have more sound opinions than that.
Oh, well, darling, let me say to you, my friend Alex, you're listening all the way from Newark, New Jersey. I love this lady, and I am so glad that you took the time to listen, and she's a former employee of mine too. But no, Alex, you misheard me. I am not a supporter of the Electoral College. I think its original, what you might have heard me said, is its original purpose was sound because the methods of communication and the timeliness within which a message could travel were so poor, it made sense to have representatives that could be informed in order to vote for a president. But that's long, long, long gone, Alex.
It never worked. It never worked, even in the way that you described it. You're being too kind when you frame it that way. And I believe you're in Florida, so no criticism to your regular audience, but you're going to have to be very careful. You know, they're in Florida. You need to chew things a lot and explain it to people with small words and concepts, you know, because it's just a very difficult subject for the people in Florida to understand. However, if you do say to the people in Florida that they're going to lose their minority rule, if you eliminate the Electoral College, you're going to have tons of calls defending it all of a sudden. So I leave you with that, Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Alex.
You guys be well and try to stay sane in that insane state in which you live.
I will not deny that. Okay.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, dear. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, my God. What a wonderful...
Did she surprise you?
Yes. What a wonderful surprise. I hired her right out of college, and she was so spunky, and she was full of fire. And I hired her into my claims operation in New York City, and she traveled right up the ladder. She was everything I thought she was when I saw her that day. With bouncing in there with smiles and a load of confidence. Never lacked confidence. Even when she was wrong, she didn't lack confidence.
That's a dilemma now.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got when you're mistaken, but you've got the confidence that you're not. Whoa, that can be kind of rough at the edges there to get by.
Yeah, and listen, when she had an opinion, one thing I liked about her, when she had an opinion, she was going to stick to it. You were going to have to convince her that her opinion was bad. So, but anyway, folks out there, what do you think? What do you think about the Electoral College? I think it stinks. I think it is an antiquated system that needs to go. And when you think about it, we talked about this once before. Every single election in the history of this state, in this country, starting from elementary school, through high school, through college, is majority rule. The majority wins, except the Electoral College. And how do you justify the minority ruling over the majority? Not fair. And for those that say, oh, it would have an adverse effect on the smaller states, imagine the state of Rhode Island. It gets 2 senators. Those senators might have 500,000 people that they're responsible for, versus California, where one senator may have 3 million people they're accounted for. So therein is a creating a balance to the imbalance, because even though the California state is more populous, the Rhode Island state gets equal say so in the Senate with this much, much smaller population. So that actually is was something that was complained about. But when you think about it, that pretty much is the formula that offsets the larger states versus the smaller states. So you really don't have a complaint when the day comes that we tear down electoral college, because we are going to do that. The electoral college is an antiquated system that's long, long overdue. Now, the other thing, I wish I had had my friend Alex on to talk about this. I'm sure she would have had a roarifying thought about this. This issue with Deshaun Watson. I would just like to hear what some of you have to say about Deshaun Watson. For those of you that don't know about it, Deshaun Watson is an NFL player, formerly with the Houston, I forget what's the Astros are baseball, and the Houston Braves. It's not Braves. Oilers. Yeah. He was with the Houston Oilers, and it is alleged, sexually harassed over 20 women who he had hired for massage. There was a hearing held by the NFL, and the punishment has been a 6-game suspension, and that's it. And there's been no affirmative finding against him, although several of those cases were paid off. And he'll go on to get one of the richest contracts in the history of the NFL in Cleveland at the position of quarterback. What say you? You have an opinion about that? Do you think that's fair, unfair? You know, we had moved a long way toward getting women's rights in balance. I'm not sure that this particularly helps. I'd like to know what your thought is. That number is 340-1590. That's 340-1590. Tell us what you think about being a black conservative, or what you think about Deshaun Watson's case. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back. So don't you touch that dial, because we'll be right back with the African American scene.
Hi, I'm Michelle Miller, your candidate for Clerk of Court in St. Lucie County. For years, the clerk's office has been riddled with controversies, complaints, and a lack of service. Now is the time for change. Get rid of the career politician and elect a veteran, successful businesswoman, and administrator who will restore integrity and accountability to this office. I would be honored to have your vote to be your next clerk in St. Lucie County. I'm Michelle Miller, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is Rudy Howard, your independent insurance agent. I now specialize in Medicare, health insurance, and small group insurance. That number is 475-8856. Same great service, more flexible hours. Just give me a call, 475-8856.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Welcome back to the African American Scene. Once again, here's your host, the one and only Rudy Howard.
Well, what did you think about the election result last night? You know, we're getting closer and closer. Our in-person election starts next week, I believe. Yeah, I think it starts next week, where you'll be able to go to the poll and cast your votes. And I would encourage you, whether you're Republican or Democrat, please make sure you go out and cast your votes. We need everybody to vote so we can have a proper functioning democracy, because I happen to think the majority of the country will tell us what they want us to do. There's not many that feel that way. There are some that don't want the majority of the country telling us what they want us to do, but I think that's the way it should go. So I have to tell you, it feels so good to be back here with you guys after a couple of weeks in the hospital and a week on the mend. Oh my God, it was just awful. But I would say to you, one of the other things that is of urgent interface is, what do you think about assault rifles? What do you think about them? Do you think we should have assault rifles? I've had that discussion on here before. And I remember Steve calling me saying that he didn't want me taking his guns away. And I said, I don't want to take your guns away. I want to take your assault rifle away.
I'll bet you couldn't hit a clay pigeon with an assault rifle.
Oh.
You know? Of course, you wouldn't want to use an assault rifle for clay pigeon. That's like target practice. It's a piece of clay, a little clay disc that gets thrown by a machine, and then you use a shotgun. You can't miss with a shotgun, but with an assault rifle, you have to have pinpoint aim, or you're not going to hit anything.
Well, I will tell you, if you heard when Matthew McConaughey gave his heartfelt speech at a press conference, one of the things he talked about is about the difficulty in identifying one of the kids that had been hit in the head with one of those assault bullets.
Oh, yeah. Those things can come apart and spread into all directions and just go in on one side real easy and come out real nasty on the other side.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it must have, like, cut these kids in half.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no sense in using an assault rifle, not even for protection. Unless you're in the military, or if you're in police and you're going after the cartel, you should have a few of them with you. But as far as regular citizens go, there are firearms that you can carry around without the liability of an assault rifle. I mean, somebody could steal it from you, or a kid could find it. You see all kinds of things. And to kids, it's like a big toy that makes a loud noise.
Well, I listen. We've talked about this before. I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I believe you should be able to have a firearm to protect your property and your home. But that doesn't include assault rifle, in my opinion.
No, assault rifle would be a little too bulky. I'd be worried about the inability to be precise with your aiming and your control of something, a monstrous machine like that.
Or even to grabbing it in time to fend off an intruder.
You might not have enough time.
Right, because to be proper handling a assault rifle, it's got to be locked up.
Yeah.
So the process of unlocking it in order to fend off an intruder will take far too long.
Who's got a smaller, lighter handgun than you do and could probably shoot you 4 or 5 times before you could hit him once.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So, and if people can still buy them, why can't they wait till they're 21?
Yeah.
Simple things are
That's me. That's at the very minimum. Make them wait till they're 21.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be available, but making them wait till they're 21 is more than reasonable.
I can see why police and law enforcement would need them, and so would military.
Yes.
But citizens, no. The right to carry a firearm for protection isn't going to be. How much does an assault rifle weigh?
Well, and
it's
listen,
going to kick too.
Here's the other thing. And it's not a little thing. What about the protection of the police officers? Putting them up against that weapon, okay, is really pretty high hazard stuff. And if you remember now, it's so many years ago, but remember when the police officers only had 38s. They only had 38s. And when all of the criminals had 9mm, the police went to 9mm. Now, I know some of the tactical units in the police force probably have AR-15s, but not the regular guys on the street. They don't have AR-15s.
SWAT teams probably.
SWAT teams, yes, I said so. I was saying SWAT and tactical units, they may have them, but the regular guy on the street doesn't have them. So are we putting him at risk to being able to come home to his family? And I have a kid right out there now who I absolutely am crazy about, love him like my own son. Michael Redwood, who is on the Port St. Lucie Police Department. And I sure wouldn't want to see him get shot down out there working to protect the community. So just think about it. And I would love to have your opinion. You guys have been awfully quiet tonight. Normally you're much more rambunctious in making phone calls, I guess.
I've noticed, though, even though in the past few weeks, in addition to the time they took off, that they've kind of been coming around a little bit and coming around to more of what you've been thinking about and being more open to what you've had to say now.
Yeah.
It's obvious when somebody calls the African American scene and talks nice to Rudy and supportive of him. It's like, whoa. Does this person know what he's listening to? Yeah. It's not your everyday average run-of-the-mill conservative talk show.
Not at all.
And if that's what you get all the time, something different can be refreshing, you know. And there you have it right there. You've got the African American scene, which is to throw a little balance in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balance and fairness, yeah.
And listen, as I've said before, for those of you that might be listening to me for the first time, my objective is not to get you to agree with me, but it is to make you think. If I have made you think about a subject in a way different than what you did before you tuned into my show, I have accomplished my task. Notice, it wasn't that I want you to agree. It's that I want you to be able to think about a subject differently than you have. Let me get some water here.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. Isn't that something? A little horse sense should be utilized from time to time, folks. Some comments?
Absolutely. So, folks, did you see about that in Kentucky? 37 people dead in that huge.
That's nasty water, too, because there's septic tanks all over the place in Kentucky. And when the water is up to halfway around the house, everything that's supposed to be underground is kind of floating around. And it's nasty over there. The death toll will probably rise from infections down the road, that haven't occurred yet, but will.
Yeah, do they have alligators there?
Let me see. Kentucky, I wouldn't be surprised if one was found. I know that you can find them as far north as North Carolina.
Yeah.
I never saw any in Virginia when I was there for a little bit. And I went up over the mountain and found West Virginia. Didn't see any there, but I saw a couple deer. Until the first of what's hunting season opens, they all vanish like they know. They don't come out of the woods like they do when hunting season is not open. It's amazing. The deer are smart. They know how to dodge bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that is a tragedy in Kentucky. 37 people dead. Ooh,
That's a lot of people.
it is. And they had some legislation pending for some culverts and barriers to move the water away from certain areas, but it just never got done prior to this Titanic rain. Now, there's another area of Kentucky where all of that got done, and they didn't get the same problem. So I don't know. How much do you think our government should be involved in helping Americans?
Well, we've got fires, we've got floods, we've got hurricanes, we've got earthquakes. We've got all these natural disasters that occur and will continue to occur, plus media coverage instantly of everything that happens on the whole planet. So we're constantly bombarded with these horrific news stories about all these people dying from whatever reason. And, it's sort of kind of strange the way it works out, because you've got all these people dying from all these natural causes, and then a bunch of people still dying from man-made causes, like the assault rifles and things like that. It's just a constant flow of death and misery, because those that are left behind, they get to be miserable. They lost their kids. If you lose a child, it's a terrible thing, no matter who that child is, or how old or how young they are.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
I agree, but the question I'm trying to get at is, as a federal government, in times of crisis, and I'm going to get you to think about this, we're willing to spend billions at the drop of a hat, like with Ukraine. Part of the money to help Ukraine is going to be to help rebuild Ukraine. Okay? So now, most of conservatives complain if we do things for people because they don't want us to be a dependent nation. But let me ask you, if we have the money to send trillions, now we're into the trillions in Ukraine, can we spend some money on homelessness? Question.
Can't leave everything up to all the nonprofits out there like like Careology, Care Bag, they're out there doing something. They're not feeding the homeless. They're actually doing something different because everybody wants to feed the homeless. And, well, if you want to get a really good 501c3 together, you want to be able to raise some money to help the homeless do something that everybody else isn't doing, and that's what Roxy's doing. She's doing the personal hygiene products for homeless folks, free showers, mobile shower units they carry around with them, and these events that take place where they get kids free haircuts. And most recently, they had the Hands Clinic and Cleveland Clinic get together, and they were giving free sports physicals for kids in school wanting to get into sports. The parents usually can't do it because of the cost of the doctors to get that sports physical done, and she made a way for these folks.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But could we or should we? Here's the question. We know we could. The question is, should we?
Oh, yeah, because, well, we know what this is going to get us, Rudy. Remember what Rudy said about the prison system here today, and how much it costs to lock up a prisoner per year, as opposed to sending that kid to college early before they get into hanging out with the bad kids and getting in trouble and stuff like that, before the prison system checks in to get them into college. And folks would argue with that right away, saying, oh, no, you want to trade, you want to give them a degree instead of punishment. Well, no, we're talking about a preventative measure.
Yes, we're talking about rehabilitation. Yeah. You know, that thing that I propose, and I have more than one time defended it. I just took the cost to go to Florida State, including room, board, and tuition, versus incarceration for a 18-year-old. It's like 40% more.
Wow.
You know, this is not something I'm making up now. It costs much more to incarcerate that 17-year-old kid than it did to send him.
We're not just talking about helping people. We're talking about investing in lives.
Right, and think about that. If I can save him or her, not only did I create another productive citizen, I created another tax-paying citizen. They're now paying taxes.
Yeah, as opposed to not paying any taxes. In prison, you can't really, you can get one of those prison job pressing license plates, but you're going to still pay taxes. And that's not going to be a very big salary anyway.
That's right.
It's not going to be one that you'd get should you have gone to college, go on to get that degree, and then get a job somewhere, and it's not going to be like pressing license plates. It's going to be a good paying job.
We have to there's a couple of things in America that need to be rethought. One of them is the economic system. Our economic system is abysmal. It doesn't work. And there are very intelligent people, a lot more intelligent than me out there, that are telling you this system is broken. And I think that's something that needs to be fixed. The second thing that needs some repair is our criminal justice system. We hold 25%. Listen to this now. This statistic freaks me out. We hold 25% of the world's prisoners.
In the USA.
We have more prisoners than China, more prisoners than Russia.
Okay. We're talking about communist countries too now.
Yeah.
And this isn't even a communist country.
Yeah, and you know what? Get on your Google. I dare you. You want to see if I'm telling the truth? Get on the Google and check. Afghanistan, Iran. We have more prisoners than all of them. Why? So here's what, as a person who was taught to think, let's start with why. Can we do that? Let's take a look at our system versus their systems and find out why we have so many more prisoners in jail than they do. Why? Our economic system.
Well, there's more money in selling crack than there is in getting a job.
Oh, yeah.
But because it's illegal, it has a high price. It also has tremendous risk to not only the sellers but the takers. The stuff that folks are addicted to, the addicts themselves, they're at a high risk because they don't realize it. But they could be hitting that stuff one time, take a really deep draw of it, and their heart could stop just like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you never know. You don't get a warning. It just happens.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you though, that is an issue. But what I think is important here is we need to help folks, and there's a couple of programs. They just started a program in Chicago where they've taken a group of students, and this millionaire has gone in and provided them all with college scholarships. The program that we have here, awesome, absolutely awesome program, where the school, our IRSC, got that foundation donation from what's-her-face's wife. She gave us the money, and it's going to allow us to send all these kids to college for free.
That news story broke on your show,
Yeah.
When you had the new president of IRSC was in here on your show, and told everybody that story of this great, tremendous entrepreneurship that goes on out there. People that are helping people go to college with creating grants out of people that have so much money they don't know what to do with it all. Invest it in the education of others. Great idea, brilliant.
Because here's what, if you don't know people from different stratas of society, then it's hard for you to understand what would be a driving force to get them to do right. One of the things that's a driving force to get people to do right is hope. Hope they can see.
They can also hang on to it.
Yeah. When people see hope, they look at and they go, dang, gun it, I think I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what this college degree, is it going to save every one of them? No, it's not. But if it saves 15, 20%, was it a good program?
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, it was.
Oh, yeah.
If it saves 15, 20%, okay, it's a good program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going to happen is somebody will try to find a person in part of the program that did a bad thing and display that as the program's failure. And
for those who like to lay blame on everybody, that's for them. Yeah, they'll do that. The blame makers, the blamers.
Yeah. So, but we got we got some programs out here now. I believe having had family on all parts of the economic level, that this is the kind of program that will be very successful. And you know, I spoke to you guys once before about the fact that you may not have realized it, but high school graduation rates went up during the time President Obama was president. High school graduation rates for black kids went up. And all that was so simple.
That mixture of hope was added in there.
There you go.
See, even when there's no hope, that's an indication that there is hope. If you've got no hope, that gives you a reason to create hope.
Yeah. So you see, that happened, and you know, when I tell people that, they go, you go fact check it. You know,
Snopes, SNOPES, Snopes.com. If before you forward that conspiracy theory that somebody memed you, before you try to make that go viral, check it out, see if it's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to look silly, do you?
No, not at all.
And Rudy's the one that was the first one to tell us about Snopes, by the way, because everybody else, they don't want you to fact check everything. And we can understand why, because if you can check the facts, you're going to check the facts, and nobody's going to pull a woolly over your eyes.
Somebody asked me a incredible question earlier today that I responded to. And his question was, when will everybody, check this out now, when will everybody accept the consensus opinion of conservative people over that of fact-checked liberal positions?
Well, yeah, it pays to fact check, because if you're going to help promote a lie, that makes you one of the liars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fact check everything, because especially before you forward it. People love to forward stuff they read on the internet. How do you know that's true? I saw it on the internet. That's a good reason right there, a reason to fact check it.
Well, and I'm sorry, let me add to that. Over scientific findings. So I wrote back and I said, did you really mean to ask me that question? You answered your own question. Why would people accept the consensus opinion of conservative position if there's a scientific position that's contrary to that? I have not heard back from him.
Right, because the scientific method requires testing and retesting. From the theory, well, from a hypothesis to a theory, it doesn't become a fact yet. It's got to go through all the moves before it becomes a fact. Those theories have to be tested and retested. And if you're trying to find a different answer for the same test, that's insanity, they say. So you want to devise your answer from what you've tested. You don't guess what. This is the answer we're going to determine to find out, and then pursue it. That happens too much, doesn't it?
Yeah. Far too much. But, man, it feels so good to be back with you guys. We're coming near the end of the hour, though. It went by so quickly. I think we got one call we're going to try to squeeze on here.
I think Rocky wants to make a statement for you before we're out of time here.
Okay. Hey, Rock.
Hey, Mr. Howard, how are you?
Okay.
Doing good, right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. You see, we are building a lot of jails in this country, but we don't building the school, vocational training, and mills and factories that our kids going to grow up and start doing something.
Right.
And that's the difference that all over the world is going on right now.
So you're saying all over the world they're putting more investment in the
In
education.
mills and factories, education, and mills and factories for the kids,
Maybe they were
for
listening
the
to
next
this show.
generation.
Yeah. You know what, Rocky?
And-
You gave me a subject to do some research for. Thank you. I'm gonna look into that to find out the what's going on worldwide in terms of investing in the education of the kids.
Yeah, kids, it's the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't take care of our kids today in this country, China not going to come down and fix our problem or fix our kids. For the industry, education, we have to fix ourselves.
I agree.
All right, Mr. Howard, nice to hear your voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, guys, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good call.
That's Rocky. He's my corner store guy.
All right.
Yeah, that's who it is. That's Rocky. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So Rocky, that's Rocky calling in to check on me.
And you see how easy it is to participate in a show like this? You can call in and make a comment. And now, if you want to make a comment in disagreement with anything that we talk about, be prepared. Make sure you do your homework first, right, Rudy?
Yeah, because I'll make you feel bad if you didn't.
Yeah, you don't want to feel bad, do you? Wow.
So, boy, I got to tell you, what a wonderful thing
Yep.
to be back here with you guys. I'm back in the saddle.
The archives are back.
I'd like to thank you so much for turning into the African American scene. God bless. Be safe. And I'll see you next Wednesday right here for the African American scene.
Wednesday nights in the 6 o'clock hour, the African American scene is sponsored by Martin County Roofing and independent insurance agent Rudy Howard. Right here on Digital 1590, Wednesday nights.